Hello, my name is Carly Roller, and this is part 1 of 2 of my video midterm for my WST 460 class. Today for this video, I wanted to talk about the gendered body, more specifically women in the gendered body, because I think that women's bodies tend to be a little bit more policed as far as appearances go. For my first example that I wanted to talk about, I am referring to American Reflex, the video that we watched. I think it was in Unit 4. For me, American Reflex brought out a lot of emotions when I watched it. I was outraged, I was angry, I couldn't believe that people could actually treat another human being that way just for not conforming to their standards. If you watch the video, you'll know that it's in Myrtle Beach, which is a fairly conservative part of America. After watching that video, I did my research and I Googled it, and it turns out that the woman in American Reflex, the actress, is a cisgendered female. She was born biologically female. However, she does have some androgynous-esque features. You know, she has small breasts, she has a small butt, she's really, really tall. And wearing the metallic mask made it hard for people to determine, oh, well, is this a male or is this a female? And if you watch the video, she's walking down the boardwalk minding her own business. That's it. She's not making contact with anybody, she's not going out of her way to draw attention, she's just walking down the boardwalk. And people start by, first, men start to try to solicit sex from her. So they start to go up and say, oh, you know, I'd love to do you in that. Oh, I'd love to have sex with you. Can I bring you home? All of that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden someone brings up, oh, well, that's a man. This person has no proof that this person is a man. They're just stating, oh, this is a man. And you can tell the climate drastically changes after that first comment that this person that they all think is a female is actually a man. All of a sudden it turns into innocent curiosity to a mob mentality. People are following her, people are throwing food at her, throwing water bottles at her, and eventually it gets up to such a climax. This woman, a full-grown woman, runs up from behind her and just pushes her down. She falls on the cement and her knee is scuffed up, and people just don't care. I think two men do run up and say, oh, give her room and help her up and stuff, but nobody stopped this woman from pushing her. Nobody stopped these other people from throwing things at her. Nobody stepped in and said, this isn't right. I just can't help thinking that if she would have presented herself as a female, that none of this would have happened to her. And I think that that's really wrong. I think that that's messed up, that people are so dependent on a woman's image to determine her worth. Like, she was not worthy of protecting. She was not worthy of being treated like a human being. We see this a lot in the media. We see it a lot, especially in the mainstream media with celebrities. You know, a lot of the times we'll go to the grocery store in the magazines, oh, guess who this is? Guess who's fat in a bikini at the beach? Guess whose cellulite this is? And we just lose respect for these people as humans. We see these women, and because they're overweight or because they don't embody the feminine ideals that are so heavily perpetuated in American mainstream media, they are seen as subhuman. They're seen as less than human. And I think that that's really sad, because it does put a lot of pressure on young girls and adolescents to conform at a very early age. One of the readings that we have in this class, by Karen A. Martin, Becoming a Gendered Body, focuses on the practice of preschools and how from very young ages we show little boys and little girls what it means to be a little boy or a little girl. They say, oh, you're a little girl, so you play with Barbie dolls and you wear pink dresses and you get a play kitchen. I know for me personally, when I was growing up, that is what I was given to play with. I was given Barbie dolls and a play kitchen and, got to play dress up. And when I wanted to do something else, when I wanted to play a sport, my parents told me, oh, well, you're a girl and girls don't really play sports. Girls play with Barbie dolls and girls play with makeup, that kind of stuff. Same thing with little boys. Little boys are given trucks and they're given, builder sets, and you get, instead of a clay kitchen, they get the carpenter garage for young boys. I remember growing up, my younger brother, he wanted a baby doll. He just wanted one. He wanted me to paint his nails when he was a little boy, and my father was really disturbed about that. He said, oh, I don't want him playing with baby dolls. That's going to make him gay. I don't want him painting his nails. That's going to confuse him and make him gay. And it's ironic because now, as a yoga instructor, I teach at a couple preschools, and I think it's getting better because I do have little boys who come up to me and they show me that, oh, their mom painted their fingernails over the weekend, and they just think it's the coolest thing ever. So I think we're getting there, slowly but surely. But I do think that there is still a lot of growing that we have to do as a society as far as gendered bodies and policing gendered bodies. If you have read anything lately, there's a show that I just love. It's called My Big Fat Fabulous Life. And I just absolutely love it because Whitney Thor gets on there and she is just like, this is who I am. I don't give a crap about your opinion. I'm big, I'm beautiful, and I love to dance. And I don't care what you have to say about that. And she ended up launching her campaign, No Body Shame, and spreading awareness that just because she is overweight, or in her case, I guess she's clinically obese, doesn't mean that she necessarily brought it on herself. She suffers from PCOS, and so if you know anything about PCOS, sometimes it can cause weight gain. And in her case, that's what happened. And I think it's really important to spread the awareness. She eats healthy, she dances 5 times a week, so she's not, just this lazy fat person. Even if she didn't, it's completely not okay that people make these assumptions about other people, especially women. Especially women. When we talk about sexuality and, proper and improper desires, well, for me, with my discussion board post, I brought up, oh, well, there is sexual desires surrounding larger women, and they're very desired, and there's a huge following out there for those sexual fetishes, and they are beautiful. They are just as beautiful as any supermodel that walks the runway. So I think for me, definitely, when talking about gendered bodies, there are a lot of examples in the media of things that are happening that are positive, but at the same time, when you watch videos like American Reflex, you realize that we're just not quite there yet. And it's become human nature to police other people's bodies and how they represent their gender, unfortunately. So that's pretty much all I have to say about those two things. The last thing that I really want to talk about is how women who do embody gender norms, how they are treated. Women who embody gender norms, oh, you're pretty, so you can't be smart. Or, you're a feminist, so you can't like fashion. I think those two things are really detrimental, not only to feminism, but also just to acceptance as a whole. I mean, just because I like to get dressed up and own designer things doesn't mean that I don't care about my feminist sister out there who want to walk down the street without their shirts on or not shave their armpit hair. I say more power to you, girl. If that's how you want to live your life. That's all I have to say. Thanks for tuning in to my midterm video. I will see you later.